This is Machukanyarieko TV Talk Show, where we analyze politics and governance issues. We focus on national, local, and international news. We examine the political way of our people, social and economic. Nyarieko TV Talk Show, the house of ideas.
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Welcome to Machukanyarieko TV Talk Show, the house of ideas. Let me begin by asking this question. Do you think that with the entry of Fred Okengo Matiang'i to presidential race, Dr. William Samoei Ruto still holds ground in Kisii? In first case, did William Samoei Ruto have a strong ground in Kisii? In today's episode, I'm going to analyze some of the events or issues in relation to William Ruto's support in Kisii, while looking at individuals like CS Ogamba, the leader of minority, the chiefs whip in the National Assembly, Sifena Osoro is also a member of my South Mogrango. I'll also look at Stephen Mogaka, member of West Mogrango. Look at Zail Janda, member for Nyaribali Church constituency, as well as we also have this Japheth Nyakund from Kitutu Chache North. But before we proceed, kindly, if you are watching our channel for the first time, or if you have been watching and probably you have not subscribed to it because of many issues, kindly subscribe so that whenever we produce another video, YouTube will automatically notify you. Of course, subscription is free, and there are more advantages because you simply get notification when we have a new episodes. Back to our discussion. Do you think William Samoei Ruto has a strong ground in Kisii as things stand? To understand this, we go back to 2022 general election. 2022, before or prior 2022, there was William Samoei Ruto made several visits to Kisii. However, he was not that popular. Initially, he used to use people like Magara from South Mogrango, Sylvana Osoro, and some young people, MCAs, to get him to Kisii. Even in the earlier, that is when they were campaigning with Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, William Samoei Ruto never used to be sent to Kisii. He used to be sent to the coast. I think he might be having some grounds at the coast, while Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta came to Kisii. I think Uhuru Kenyatta has got some high top feelings for the region. So because of that, Uhuru Kenyatta felt that he had no support in the coast, therefore he could send William Ruto there, and William Ruto felt that he has no proper ground in Gusiland, and therefore he could exchange with Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, who came there most of the time to hunt for votes. But with the entrance of the former CS for Education, Ezekiel Machogu, William Samoei Ruto had some right. Ezekiel Machogu is also a mobilizer. He mobilized for him the ground, and now William Samoei Ruto could match the ground. Unfortunately or unwillingly or unknowingly, during the first Gen Z demonstrations, Ezekiel Machogu was the first person to be shown the door. The man who brought William Samoei Ruto to Kisii, to the larger Kisii. Initially, William Samoei Ruto was being failed in some places like South Mugrango, that he has gone the other, forgetting the entrance to Kisii. Remember, Machuka comes from one of the biggest clan in Kisii, that is Omonyaribali, and Omonyaribali in most cases are likened to a Kikuyu. For instance, like now when they have decided this Matiang'i, even if you pour all your resources in Nyaribali, you will just waste your time. It is Matiang'i. That brings me to the issue of Zail Janda, who comes from Nyaribali Church. Of course, Zail Janda he has grown up in Kisii. Personally, I know him at the personal level because we have shared much in the past. So he hails from there and probably has married from Kisii. But will he be able to convince these people who once they have said we need a change? Nyariba is well known for the term change. When they talk of a change, only the late Simeon Nyachae, Professor Sam Ongeri can tell you when the people of Nyaribali mean or talk of a change. It's a total change. And these are the people who are largely to Kisii, meaning that the ground or Zail Janda is just a shell to William Samoei Ruto. It's just Zail and him having known the clan where Zail Janda comes from. Of course, you will have 1, 2 or 3 foods. Those of course are around. Those are the spoiler foods for Matiang'i. Those ones are around, which even Matiang'i will get from Sugoi. When we come to South Mugrango, South Mugrango is where Sylvanus Osoro comes from. We have heavyweights like Omingo Magara. He still has ground. He's from there. And the presidential candidate himself, Fred Okengo Matiang'i, hails from there, and he has got an added advantage. He stands at a political advantage point because he comes from South Mugrango but lives in Nyamira, so he controls both the settlement scheme, and the South Mugrango. So the role that Sylvanus Osoro will play is that spoiler role. Then we have another man, Stephen Mogaka. I have to have known Stephen Mogaka at personal level because we have attended some radio interviews with him once or twice or thrice. So I know him. He's vibrant, but this time around he is moving against the wind, against the waves that are likely to carry him to the end of or maybe to the midst of deep seas. Geoffrey Nyarieko comes from Kitutu. Of course, the whereabouts of the former governor James Omariba Ongwae not properly known, whether he is going to support William Samoei Ruto come 2027. Probably maybe having ambitions to also contest, maybe to have some positions. And in this case, Geoffrey Nyarieko also, if you look properly, the chief engineers, the chief campaigners of Fredo Kengo Matiang'i are from Kitutu sub-clan. We have Onyonga and this young man, how do we call him? I remember his name, Kibagendi. That is the Honorable Kibagendi, Member of Parliament of Kitutu Chache South. So these people are strongly behind Fred Okengo Matiang'i. Now, this raises the question as to what missiles does William Samoei Ruto have in the Gusii land, bearing in mind that his pointman Sylvanus Osoro does not move out his constituency. He actually even speaks publicly that I want to work for the people of South Mugrango first before moving to other places in the Gusii region. So he has confined his nationality within the South Mugrango constituency. And when we finally go to this Ogamba, the CS for education, and there is little known about him in terms of politics, because he will only be working maybe with the Geoffrey Nyarieko in the Kitutu Chache North to try to outwit Onyonga and Kibagendi, but their voices will end there. Even when the CS of education, that is Ogamba, has been put into that position, he still has no influence as the former. What is your take? Kindly like our videos, share, leave your comments, and most importantly, subscribe. Thank you and have a blessed weekend.